So my name is Moriah Hughes. I interned at Fixus Mobilis in Vilnius, Lithuania, and I am a PhD student in structural engineering at Princeton University. And at Princeton, I work in the Heritage Structures Lab. So when I applied to the IEP program, coming from an engineering background, I was looking to get more hands-on experience with conservation skills, with inspection skills, and just with a wider variety of buildings and building systems. And being from an engineering background, I wasn't sure if I would be matched with any program, but I was very fortunate to be matched with Fixus Mobilis, which, as I said, is located in Vilnius, Lithuania. And I was not familiar with the Baltics before I took this internship. So for any others who might be in that boat, Lithuania is one of the lower countries on the Baltic Sea, very close to Poland and Russia. And Vilnius is in the lower right of it. This was a beautiful city to live in. They have a very cultural district, some large historic building population. It's known as the greenest capital in Europe due to their large number of parks, very accessible from the city. So just a lovely, lovely place to live for the summer. And now Fixus Mobilis, they are an organization that is part of the Cultural Infrastructure Center or the Ministry of Culture in Lithuania. And their mission is to improve the condition of cultural heritage sites in Lithuania by participating in and providing capacity building for preventative maintenance. So the Fixus Mobilis organization is comprised of 3 teams of specialists and a team of admins. And they have 3 mobile workshop vans called building ambulances. And each of these teams has 3 specialists, a craftsperson, a team leader of some background in cultural heritage or architecture, and then another specialist. And they service 70 sites per year. And they've serviced over 300 sites since 2019. So this is a program with huge impact across the country, and all of their services are provided for free to the cultural heritage sites. And these services consist of a condition assessment of the building from roof to foundations, even the difficult to reach places, as I got to witness sometimes. They also do some preventative maintenance works or minor repair works. And then they deliver to the client or the owner a report of these works and assessment, and then an individualized maintenance calendar for their specific building. So what did my activities look like during this internship? I really just tagged along with their activities. So that looked like getting to do object drawings to be used as schematics in the reports they were producing. I got to participate in some of their educational events and also produce some visualizations and help with English translation for some of those materials. And then the highlight of this internship and the majority of it is the site visits, which can be broken down into the inspection activities and then the maintenance visits. And then I got to help draft a few of the condition assessment reports. So the inspection activities, we looked at a variety of buildings. Cultural heritage in Lithuania ranges from the vernacular, like this old schoolhouse in the log construction style on the left, to more monumental buildings like government buildings or large churches and cathedrals. This was on the right. This was in the tower of a cathedral. Really incredible to spend an autumn morning in the tower above the mists. So these activities, as I said, they work from the roof to the foundation, doing a lot of visual inspection, looking for things like structural or non-structural cracks, defects in the building enclosure, whether that's the roofing elements or the siding, looking for foundation defects, material pathologies. And then there's some minor destructive testing, such as the resistance drilling demonstrated by my incredible colleague Emilia in the center. That's for wood elements that have signs of rot or insect infestation and need to be evaluated to see what the recommendation will be for their repair or replacement. And then sampling of materials or of pathologies. So this could be to see if there's incompatible materials used on the building that are contributing to its deterioration, such as mortars with cement or paints that trap moisture and later peel off, or the presence of salts, which are very highly degrading to mortars and masonry. So a few of the buildings we got to look at on the left is me being very excited because we visited a barn. I study historic timber barns for my PhD, and so they made sure I got to visit this one in Lithuania. It is the oldest intact barn in the country, incredibly well preserved, about 300 years old, much older than anything we have in the US, and I got to do the structural condition assessment on this one. In the middle is a Baroque monastery that we visited, also a monumental icon in the whole Baltic region. We checked that one, mostly the roof enclosure, and for signs of activity in a past insect infestation. So here you can see the colleagues working in the roof to check some elements. And then on the right is a manor that has been abandoned and then repurchased. And it had a lot of freeze thaw issues with the masonry. Obviously the roof's missing, some cellars collapsing. So there was a lot of interesting material and structural things going on. So I got to write the assessment report for that one. The maintenance activities ranged from, there was a lot of basic activities like cleaning facades or cleaning biological colonization, vegetation off of roofs and walls. I was very thrilled every time I got to relocate moss. It was a very soothing morning activity. Here you can see me looking excited because I got to replace this window pane that was missing. I got to cut the glass to size and then place it back in the frame and replace the elements around it. This was the larger church we worked on, and I really like the photo on the left because you can see the majority, well, you can kind of see the majority of the team at work. So let's see if my pointer works. In the center, or bottom right, is Amelia piloting the drone to get this photo. Up on the tower, on the spire, is the craftsman, the rope specialist, cleaning vegetation off of the spire. I'm in the red down on the facade of the church, scrubbing off biological colonization. And on the other side is another craftsman on the lift, repairing roof panels and windows and cleaning gutters on the upper part. So that was what that maintenance run looked like. Also cleaning a lot of drainage systems that had to feature in this photo on the left, where you also see some of the biological colonization we were dealing with. So a lot of really cool hands-on skills and very practical skills and perspectives on building maintenance. So the condition assessment reports, I got to help draft a few. The one on the left is for the church. And then I mentioned that the Fixus gives each building a individualized maintenance calendar. What specific activities do you need to take for this building and at what times of year in order to preserve the condition as it is? And then in the report, they might also recommend if repair or updating works are needed. I was really pleased to get to participate in the workshop that Fixus facilitated. So as I said, a large part of their activities is also capacity building, educating owners and providing materials for them to understand the buildings that they work with and understand how to maintain them so they can preserve the authenticity and prevent loss of the buildings, loss of authenticity, or keep the owners from dealing with too large of repairs that they can no longer afford or handle. So this picture, most of the Fixus team is in the center, and a lot of excited attendants came. And these the workshops are provided free of cost. So a wonderful opportunity for building managers and owners, not just for historical sites, but for heritage sites, but any historical building. And so some of the activities we got to participate in here. We learned how to make paint from scratch in a very traditional way, kind of like making gravy, I figured out. And then paint removal techniques. You can see us using a variety of heat guns or even glass scrapers that we learned how to cut ourselves. We reconstructed decorative wood elements. So you can see the original one standing up, and then we reconstructed the one lying down. We also learned how to reconstruct water protection elements. And this kind of got into the building technology systems. How do you understand how the different pieces of a wood building work together to protect it, and where the defects might come in? So the major takeaways from the internship for me were exactly what I hoped for going in, and even more. I wanted to gain the hands-on skills with inspection techniques and intervention techniques. And it also shifted my mindset from thinking just as an engineer in terms of flow of forces and structural defects and material defects, to looking at the building technology more broadly and looking at things that can become issues down the path. And I really loved how the combination of working alongside these specialists and going to the workshop made me understand how doable a lot of preventative maintenance is. And because of that, it made maintaining and caretaking a heritage site seem so much more approachable. So while I've always loved the analysis side of historic buildings, the caretaking has seemed overwhelming. And I think I say that just to demonstrate how effective Fixus's work is for me to experience that shift in mindset just during my 10 weeks of the internship. I also got to experience some really cool aspects of Lithuanian culture. Of course, their cold beet soup. When I told my friends that I had only ever had raw beets, they were horrified, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to be allowed to stay. But their cold beet soup is incredible. I got to attend the Coronation Day coupled with their song celebration. So Coronation Day is their main national holiday, the coronation of their first and only king when Lithuania was first united as a country. And then the song celebration is a biannual festival that has helped maintain their Lithuanian cultural heritage through centuries and through some really difficult times of oppression as well. They have beautiful nature. I got to visit the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is the Curonian Spit along the Baltic Sea side, where they have beautiful dunes and forests. And I really resonated with the Lithuanian love for their forests. And being in the Baltics, I also got to visit some areas that I had never seen before. So Latvia, Sweden, and I checked an item off my bucket list of seeing a stave church in Norway. So I have to thank Fixus and World Heritage USA and everybody who supports the IEP program through World Heritage USA for this incredible summer opportunity. I come away with renewed mindset about my own career and work, and much more practical skills, and a broadened perspective culturally and professionally about my work. So thank you to all who made this possible.